Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Calvary Chapel Salmon podcast. It's wonderful to see everyone. Avery, how are you?
I'm doing so good. How about you?
I'm doing really well. Hagen, how about you?
Real good. Last night I went longboarding for the first time this season.
Wow.
And I'd probably only done it last year 10, maybe 13 or 15 times.
Which is a Hagen, 10, 13, or 15?
Somewhere right in there. So it's like getting back out there. It's like, okay, literally best ever.
Wow.
Best ever. Like that 4 or 5 month pause, like my body just knew what to do. And I thought it'd take me a while to get warmed up. I just hopped on in Murdoch's parking lot and it was like I never stopped. It was so cool. It's like, wow, I have it in me.
Yeah.
You got
So I'm
it
excited
still.
for this fresh season of longboarding.
That's nice.
So-
Well, I will say it's nice coming back and there not being any snow on the sidewalks. Still a little snow here and there.
In the yards and things, but yeah, piled up. But yeah, sidewalks,
no ice on sidewalks.
most of the driveways and roads and parking lots are nice and bare.
Wow.
Coming back from where, Jordan?
Well, if you're not aware, I've come back from a 1-week mission trip in North Carolina.
A whole week?
A whole week.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep, we left.
First time in North Carolina?
First time ever in stinking North Carolina, and it was beautiful.
Wow.
It's a gorgeous state. We were in the mountains, somewhere called Spruce Pine, North Carolina. We landed in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, did you check out the gold at Fort Knox?
I
think that's there.
I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah. Trump and Elon are going there. You know that?
I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah. And there's rumors that there's no gold there, so we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it might be this big old vault with nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to someone. Someone said that there's probably gold in it because everyone who's ever looked into it says there's gold in it, and everyone who says there's not gold in it has never seen it. They just are saying that. But they probably have just taken out gold here and there for whatever.
Just a bar once in a while.
Yeah,
just a gold bar to take home.
Yeah.
You know.
Like there's some people who are like captive in Iran or something. You need to get them back. Just give them
like hostage money.
Yeah. Take out a gold bar or two.
Yeah.
I did not make that connection. That was the University of Tennessee was there, and there was a lot of runners. People were just running all over the place.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Kind of inspired me.
Did you feel like you were faster than everyone you saw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And we went and this was the first day we went and we had like dinner along the Tennessee Lake or whatever,
Whoa.
a river. We asked our waitress, "Hey, what's this river?" She went to school there at the university right next to the river. She didn't know what it was called, which I thought
She
was
like
kind
Googles it.
She didn't know. She's like, "I think the Tennessee." I don't think it was the Tennessee River, but it was cool. So yeah, it was fun.
Well, before we get into that, I'm curious what's behind you.
There's something behind me. What? What's that, Hagen?
Wow.
Sheesh, that looks really cool.
CCS podcast. Wow.
Dang.
That does look cool.
I'm hoping it looks cool on the camera. But yeah, I got some different modes here. You want to see some?
Show us what you got.
We got this one.
Oh, wow.
This could kind of give someone like a headache.
It's always going to be white, though.
Yeah, I can't change the color.
That's okay.
Do you like the white color?
Yeah, I think it just goes well against the black backdrop.
Yeah,
so
definitely
that's
will
good.
pop.
Yeah. I can make it brighter.
Oh, wow.
I think that's a little too bright, probably.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
can make
good.
it dim, and then this is kind of middle that I chose.
That's so fancy.
3 Lakes, Wisconsin. Don't know anyone there. Don't think so.
It's not Cameron, is it?
We'll send it to voicemail.
No. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Pumpkin, have you been up to anything fun? How was your week? Here.
It was very sad. Yeah.
Aw.
Just different, and I had to I felt like I was living on the land a little bit. I had to do everything myself, which was hard, but it's over. So
I kept on making the joke. People were like, do you miss Avery, or does Avery miss you? And I kept on saying, well, I hope she's not having too good of a time. and everybody loved that. Yeah.
That's
everyone
good.
was so sweet here. It felt like I was kind of widowed because people were like, if you need a meal or a ride or anything, you need to just come over. I got you. And
It's like, yeah, I don't know how to drive a car.
No. It was very sweet, and I was like, that is the real ones when they come up and tell you. It was just so sweet. But I felt very loved. But I was good.
Yeah, I do think about that sometimes. It's like, what if I die?
You
Like,
will
what's
never
Avery gonna
die. What do you
do?
mean?
I could die.
You would
Stop
never die.
it.
You're too strong to die.
You're immortal. By the way,
probably
next
get life insurance.
this coming Sunday, time change.
I know.
So if you've been thinking, man, it's kind of nice. The sun's up shortly after I wake up. Not anymore. It's going to be dark for an hour longer in the morning, but the afternoon sure will be nice.
Wait,
because
really?
way more daylight after work, which will help out with
Sure.
running and activities.
I mean, I
longboarding.
like running in the morning. So
Yeah, you
it's-
are interesting like that, aren't you?
Yeah, running in the morning is the best. Wake up, go on a run.
Yeah, I like it. I like the earth warm when I run.
Sure, that's nice too. I just feel like.
But then your like stomach's full.
I mean,
That's
we're
kinda
just
hard.
always busy in the evenings. It's like Monday with young adults, Wednesday church, Thursday youth group.
Yeah, Friday revival nights.
Probably, yeah. So it's kind of hard to find time
Yeah,
to go and run, but yeah, I'll make it work.
good.
How's the Beaverhead training going?
Good. Yeah, getting out there a little more, so that's good.
Right on.
And yeah, I mean, probably like what is it, 4 months out? So
It's
gotta
coming
kind
up.
of hit
that
it. but
close.
yeah.
Wow.
It's coming up. Well, what are we talking about today, Hagen?
Well, Jordan, I want to hear some highlights from your mission trip.
Let's
so,
see. I
Do you,
wrote down
do you
some
do you,
notes
do you want me
on
to
my
like?
phone that we're using right now? Never
That's
mind.
awkward.
Do you
That's
want me
okay.
to like interview you or just let you talk?
Interview me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you leave out of Boise, you get there, and then you got to get from Tennessee to North Carolina. So what's that like?
Well, Scott Seiss went to a car, and we landed in
What kind of car do you know?
a dirty one. They did not clean it.
Was it like Enterprise or Hertz? Or-
Enterprise.
Yeah, I use
I
Enterprise,
was
and it's always
disappointed
been
in
good.
Enterprise. Yeah. It was like a minivan type deal, Subaru. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Like a hatchback kind of crossover type thing.
it was very nice. Yeah, it was like newer, but we got in that, and we landed.
What seat did you sit in?
I sat in the back seat. Me and Mason. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Not for the whole week.
Oh,
I claim the front seat every once in a while.
Did
Good,
you call
good.
shotgun?
No.
Oh, okay.
JD was very polite and just let me have it most days. But,
that's nice.
yeah, it wasn't a big deal. But we like landed and we were like kind of jet lagged and we were like, wait, Scott, how are we gonna get this car back? Do I need to rent the car? And Scott was like, yeah, you need to rent the car. And so this poor Enterprise employee just with his like iPad was just kind of like listening to us, like
Oh yeah.
trying to figure out. It's like, no, I need to rent it because like, how are we gonna get it back here? Because you guys are leaving early.
But I thought you couldn't because you were young. Is that true?
Well, I can. It's just $15 extra a day. And we were like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. And then we were like, oh, wait, no. Scott's going to take the rental car back on Thursday. And then Megan's dad, and Megan goes to our church. Shout out, Megan. Hi, Megan. Megan's dad, Zan's going to take us back to the airport. So we figured that out, got in the car, drove there, stopped at the restaurant where the lake was or the river was.
What kind of restaurant?
It's like barbecue. Yeah.
So like, what'd you get?
I got wings and a burger.
Of course.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Let me guess, root beer.
The wings. No, I got Dr. Pepper. Excuse you. The
Not
wings
root
were
beer.
really, really stinking good.
Oh,
Scott
wow.
next to me got like the prime rib, 16-ounce.
Good for him.
Yeah, it was. That was. Yeah, and then JD got
A burger that ate him.
he got that
According to the
bagel
picture that
brisket
you sent me.
sandwich. Yeah. Drove. Scott's a fast driver, and then we got on these like
Really?
tiny little turn roads.
you
and just
feel
go,
unsafe?
I didn't feel unsafe. It was just giving me a stomach ache.
Like, would you drive that fast ever or no?
Not on like those tight turns.
Only
no.
if it's a school zone. Another joke for another time.
Okay. No, it's just like these windy mountain roads, and Scott's just like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
we-
his first rodeo, probably.
Yeah. And so then we get to Megan's house, and it's very nice. Again, shout out to Megan for letting us stay there.
Hi, Queen.
Yeah, got in there. It smelled like the beach in there.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. Then we went to sleep. So that was Sunday. Woke up Monday morning. Went to the Baptist Church in Spruce Pine. Here's an interesting fact that I learned about. This is Mitchell County was the county we're in. There are 100 churches in Mitchell County. Mitchell County's not that big. So that's a lot
Are there
of
quite a few Baptist ones?
69 of them are Baptist.
Wow, I was
ones.
going to guess, and I wasn't going to
Yeah.
guess that.
No,
It's
how
interesting.
many were we going to guess?
I would guess like 30.
Yeah, most of them are Baptist. And this was from our pastor, or the pastor there, who is kind of doing the Devos every single day, Pastor Pastor Dr. Rocky. That was his name tag, Pastor Dr. Rocky.
Wow.
Which I was kind of like, okay, dude, pick one. You're either a pastor or a
Or
doctor.
Rocky.
You don't get to be both.
That's nice.
But he was Pastor Dr. Rocky, and he told us that fact. And the whole point was like the reason why there's so many Baptist churches is because people like get into fights and split. And so it's not exactly a good thing that there's because Mitchell County's not that big. So having 69 Baptist churches and like I don't know how big of a radius that is, but like. Imagine having 69 Calvary chapels in Salmon and Ledor.
Sure.
It's like, whoa, that's a lot of Calvary chapels.
Yeah.
And the average size of them isn't that big. Like 40 people is the average size. The one we were at was a bigger, like 100, 150 probably, or maybe a little bigger. But yeah.
So this is kind of your mission hub that you're working out of?
Yes.
Is that it?
So we worked with the organization called Baptist on Mission. And I think they're sometimes called Baptist Men or something. Baptist Men work with Baptist on Mission.
Awkward. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Okay. And yeah, it was great. They were pretty well organized. So they gave us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like lunch was little sack lunches that you packed, but then breakfast, lunch, and dinner they provided.
Like cereal or like breakfast?
No. Oh, they were good. Yeah, every single morning, biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
And then what was that little? They like this. It's not oatmeal.
Is it grits?
Grits.
Yeah.
I've never had grits.
Well, I
Are
did.
they good?
So I've been told that when they're made right, they can be really good. The ones I had weren't amazing. They definitely fill you up. They definitely
They do like
they
the
have a
job of
substance to
food.
them. Yeah. They were okay. But then we got like bacon, sausage, biscuits and gravy. Every single I love biscuits and gravy.
Me too.
So it's a great, yeah. And sweet
So you're like
tea-
going at
sweet
the
tea with every meal, which is kind of funny. Like breakfast, have some sweet tea, but that's how the Baptists like
So this
it.
is like at the church?
Yeah.
So you like show up to the church each morning, and it's not just you guys. There's like a group of people that are serving each day. So it's
Yep.
like we're going to feed the volunteers.
Yeah, and these people are coming from all over. These people are coming
Okay.
from Baptist churches around South Carolina, North Carolina. People not even from Baptist churches like us. There's this whole private Catholic school that halfway through the week they showed up, and there's like 30 or 40 of them, and they all just kind of showed up and ate with us. Episcopalian, or however you say it, Episcopalian.
Pescatarian.
Yeah, the pest. No, very nice people.
Pescatarians are people who only eat fish. Episcopal.
Thank you.
Yes.
Episcopal. That guy showed up. Other people showed up, and that was a cool part, is seeing all these Christians who would probably never ever do anything together come together to serve and to help people out. So that was kind of cool.
So I talked to Scott briefly today on the phone, and he said one of the things that was interesting to him was how much work there still is that needs to be done.
Yes.
Like railroad tracks in the river or like things.
It's quite the interesting situation because this happened late September. And so right now it's like
March.
Yeah, so we're like 6 months in, and there's still no one's homeless. All the people who live there have some sort of living situation, whether it's someone else or their original home. But so no one's on the street in tents, at least where we're at in Spruce Pine. Other places might be worse. But yeah, they said something about 5 years are still going to be. It's going to take 5 more years for them to get everything fixed. And right now, the Baptist on Mission, they bought a school that closed down, an elementary school that closed down, and they're renovating that to be like their mission hub. Because their problem right now is when volunteers come, they don't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah.
So
not everyone has a Megan and Ian to stay at their house. Yes.
So they don't have anywhere to put their people. People are living at the church, but that's obviously very limited room. And so once they get the school going, they'll be able to take groups and then feed them there, do everything there, kind of streamline the process, and then send them out to go help people. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. And then what Scott said, the railroad tracks, those are kind of being fixed right now by the government and the railroad businesses. So we're
engineers.
We weren't working on the railroad tracks all week. That would be interesting.
I've been working on the railroad. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing construction work, I'm assuming, or what?
Mostly not. So most of the work that has been like the structures of the house have all been fixed. We were basically just doing the roofing and the siding.
Okay.
That's I mean, maybe there's houses that are still have like trees on them and all, or still like have big gaping holes in them. But I think at this point they've kind of sent people out to kind of patch the holes, and now we're just coming in and making sure that those holes stay patched by putting shingles and siding and what else? What's the other thing called that we did? I looked it up earlier because I knew I would forget.
Is it in your notes?
Describe it to us.
Yeah, it's soffit. Soffit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Gotcha.
that's what we did. Yeah, which is kind of a useless thing. If you know
It's like the
anything.
underbelly, right?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't stop wind, it doesn't stop rain. It's just there to look good, I guess.
Yeah.
Look okay, yeah. But sometimes you can put. JD talked to me about this. You can put lights in your soffit, and that kind of makes it cool because you got these lights coming down. So, but we didn't do any of that. So,
Wow.
yeah, but that was the whole week. We worked at like 4 different houses. Monday we did like this metal roof. We put on this metal roof. Again, it was already kind of like half done, but we kind of came in and finished up. Tuesday we went and helped out this gentleman named Dale, who's a whole interesting fella. We can talk about him later. And then we went and we did shingles for a different roof, and then we finished that up quickly. And then we went and did the soffit and the siding, and we started doing that for a different house. And that took Wednesday and Thursday too, because that was a bigger project.
So do you know on their end, like, are they just helping everyone, or how do they go to who? How? Yeah.
You have to apply.
Okay.
The Baptist on mission. Yeah, you can't just. I don't know. Yeah, you apply. They send out a assessor.
Assessor.
Yeah, not a successor. An assessor who looks at the damage and then sends people out to come help you. And the idea is, if you have any insurance, they'll like take some of the money from they'll partner with the insurance company, and the insurance will give them some money to like buy materials. But usually the people don't have anything insurance because most people living in the mountains don't have flood insurance. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's kind
They
of the
didn't
problem.
think it'd be an issue.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's kind of the problem with this natural disaster. It's like
I don't have flood insurance up on the hill where I
probably
live.
wouldn't. Yeah.
It's like Salmon's really in trouble if my house floods.
Is that funny?
Yes. We're in like a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good thing we can swim.
that's true. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Not all of us can. That's why we live up on the
That's
hill.
why you live up high.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flood comes.
So,
Climb
like,
my house.
The houses that you were working on, were the people who lived in the houses there, like just like watching you, or
Yeah, they were in there for most part because
Oh, cute.
the holes have all been patched for the most part. We're just kind of doing the finishing outside work. So they were there. We got prayed with them, and they were very, very grateful. Very happy that we were there. So that was cool. But yeah. We gotta see. I posted on my Instagram story. Follow me on Instagram.
What's your handle? Do you know?
Jordan Schaefer or something. I don't know. Jordan Schaefer.
45.
I think he is. Yeah, Jordan Schaefer 45.
What's that stand for?
It's just like there's too many Jordan. There's probably 44 other Jordan Schaefers, and I'm 45. I'm the 45th in the world.
There's only one of you in our lives.
But you can see on one of the pictures just how high the river got. Yeah, it's pretty, and it's obviously different heights at different places, but like they had like this lower main street, kind of like our main street in Salmon, but it's just like water was above all the doorways, broke all the glass, sucked everything out, and the buildings still stand, but just everything inside's ruined. So that was kind of devastating to see, and yeah, people just weren't expecting for there to be a hurricane in the mountains because that doesn't happen, but it's just with how
they altered the weather.
Yeah, how the Democrats altered the weather. This only ever happens in the Bible Belt. Interesting. Florida? Yeah.
During elections.
Yeah, no. It's just kind of interesting how it happened. That it's just like, and people even think there was like tornadoes going on. People say tornadoes don't happen in the mountains, but the people who were living there seem to think that there were tornadoes.
They're like, we saw them.
Yeah, there were tornadoes in the mountains, I suppose. So it's pretty intense. Yeah, and mostly most of the damage is trees falling on buildings. But that can be pretty devastating if it happens to you.
Sure,
And
if it's your building, it
and
falls
and
on.
there's there's lots of trees over there. So yeah. But yeah, it was a good week.
So then, so when you're like going and having like dinner and stuff, is it like you're hanging out with everyone after the day type of deal, or what?
We're all kind of when it was me. So when it was me, JD, Scott, and Mason. There's only like 6 chairs at a table, so for the most part, kind of kept to ourselves. Every once in a while, we sat with these there's these two gentlemen, Dash and Chris, who were the kind of delivery guys for us. So they would you would text them, say, "Hey, we need more siding," and they say, "Okay," and they would bring it to you. They would go pick it up.
Give
for
me
you.
more 2x4s. Let's
Exactly. Yep. And they would bring it to you in their truck.
Wow.
Sometimes we sat with them. Chris, the one night, shared his testimony. Chris is a really, really cool testimony. 3 years ago, he was strung up on drugs completely. People came into his homeless encampment, preached the gospel to him over years and years and years. Finally, he gave his life to Christ, and just like that, his drug addiction was gone. And so it's super, super cool to hear. And Dash is also an interesting guy. Dash was just saved 3 months ago, and he grew up in Washington, which is kind of cool because he's from Washington, we're from Idaho, but we meet each other all the way over here in North Carolina.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. And he just got saved radically too, and so it was kind of cool meeting them. But for the most part, our 4 group, we kind of stayed to ourselves, and then when Mason and Scott left, there's just me and JD, so we were a little bit more social and went and sat with other people and talked with more people. Because on Thursday, Scott and Mason just had to go down to Daytona to go catch the motocross race that Scott's son was racing at. So yes, they should have been there. Yeah, but yeah. But
And guess
JD
what
had
happened
fun.
to his bike today?
Evan's
No.
bike?
Blew up.
Oh my goodness, was he racing?
The engine blows up. It's kind of common to happen with these things. So he's done for this race. So
Sheesh, that's not good.
Yeah.
How long is the race? Is it still going?
yeah, he's leaving tomorrow. But so Evan's done since his bike blew up. So you have to rebuild the motor now.
That's lame.
But win some, you lose some.
Yep. But yeah, that one day we went and we gotta go help out this guy Dale.
Yeah, tell us more about
Dale's
Dale.
a gentleman. He's an older gentleman. He looks like he could pass away any day, but he's only 78.
Is that all?
Yeah. So yeah, he looks much older. You'd have to see him.
I hope he's listening.
But he's lived.
Did you tell him about your podcast?
I did a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
He's lived quite. Love you, Dale. He's lived quite the adventurous life. He's been a part of the Baptist on Mission organization for years and years. He's kind of retired, but so here's a little thing about the Baptist men, Hagen, Averie.
Yeah.
There's ranking. There's authority. There's now I'm thinking this is right. Comment if I'm wrong. This is how I remember it. There's blue hats, black hats, and white hats. Blue hats are just your trade men who are know a certain skill or leaders or something. Black hats are over an entire operation, and then there's white hats. And from what Dale told me, there's only 8 white hats, either in the whole world or in North Carolina. I can't remember which. But our buddy Dale was one of the white hats, and he would do this thing where after every single trip, he would have a lady. He would bring home a picture and have a lady paint the picture on the brick. So he for example, he was at 9/11, and so he got a brick from the World Trade Center, or one of the firemen gave him a brick, and so that he got a painting on that. And so we went down to his basement to help him, and his basement's just covered in bricks. I forget how many trips he said he went on, but it's in the hundreds of how many mission trips he's been on. He's been all over the world, and so it was just really cool getting to listen to all his stories, and the 9/11 story, cool, and yeah, just lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the white hats.
But what you learn from that?
What I learn?
Yeah.
When Dale tells you to do something, you better do it.
No, you were telling me yesterday, this interaction with Dale, it's not just about a conversation.
Oh, yes. So Dale had the tendency to tell a lot of stories, and so we would have to listen to a lot of stories. And he only wanted us to do this one little small job for him, just move probably a pile of concrete the size of this table, just broken up from his basement into his truck, and it would have taken one guy 15 minutes to do it, and there were 4 of us, so we knocked it out pretty quick. But then Dale was just kind of chit-chatting to us, so we were there for an hour and a half, just kind of listening to Dale. But that was cool, and I realized, and me and Scott and JD were able to talk about this. It's we're on this mission not for the job, it's for the people, and so getting to listen to this guy's story, make this connection with this guy, that's just as valuable as the time we would have spent putting shingles on a roof or something. So yes, missions are about the people, not the projects.
Yes.
And evangelizing. Yeah.
And then you want to tell us about the almost father?
Yeah, he's pretty good. So that the Catholic group, that last night that we were there, we got to sit with the. He was the 9th grade theology teacher. So he taught all these Catholic kids Catholic theology.
What a job.
Yeah, so you kind of have like my job, but like in a Catholic school version. So he seemed like a very fun. His name is Gabriel. Shout out to Gabriel.
Wow.
Very nice man. And he was going to become a priest. That was his mission. That was what he felt called to. And the second he said, I was going to become a priest, I thought, and actually I said this out loud, but you met a girl, right? That's like why you, and I saw that he had like a wedding ring, so I kind of figured, but and you kind of ignored that, but that's the reason why, basically. Well, I'm sure you wouldn't say it like that, but there was this, so he was studying to become a priest for 7 years in what priest school, I don't know where they go, yeah. And there was this girl who was studying to become a girl priest or a nun or something like that. He never said nun, so I didn't want to assume because maybe there's like a different version or something.
Maybe.
And they had only ever talked to each other briefly here and there because when you're becoming a priest, you don't want to be too involved with the ladies.
Yeah.
But he suddenly felt that God didn't want him to become a priest, and then a year later they were married.
Man.
So it's just kind of a cute little love story.
That's nice.
Yep, and now they have 4 children, and it's
Wow.
cool. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. And I want to just kind of argue with him about stuff, but I figured that would ruin the unity of the stuff. So we decided not to. Just gotta talk to him.
That's good.
Yeah, some of the Catholic kids decided to do worship for us one night. And, it was kind of funny because they were like, they were just singing like Chris Tomlin, like 10,000, like the old classic, 10,000 Reasons, How Great Is Our God, those kind of songs. And then they didn't know them very well. I could kind of tell because they were kind of not knowing the words. And then they were like, we should sing Amazing Grace because they'll know that one. And I was like, please, you guys don't know these songs. We know the songs. You guys, you Catholics don't know these songs.
That's funny.
Yeah, but they're like, yeah, sing Amazing, and then they didn't even know Amazing Grace. They didn't. They're reading it off an iPad because it's like the newer version. You'll appreciate it. The newer version, like My Chains Are Gone. Like they add that chorus. They sang it as like, how would you sing in the chorus?
My chains are gone. I've been.
Yeah,
set free.
they sang
the
it
melody.
wrong with the melody because they didn't even know that version. It's like, please,
Wow.
yeah.
And you just have to sing and be like,
Yeah.
So like every evening, is there like we're worshiping and doing a Bible study or what?
Every single morning and evening, Pastor Dr. Rocky would give us a little devo, a little message, and they were like 15 minutes long, and they were always
15-minute messages. That sounds familiar.
yes, yeah. They were always very good, filled with jokes from beginning to end. Always very, very funny jokes, and no, they were always pretty good. You want to hear one?
Please.
Sure.
We'd be honored.
I think I might have told you this one over the phone, and I can't remember.
You never told me a joke.
I never told you a joke. Okay. So, and the whole time you remember, like this is like a very Southern Baptist old guy kind of preaching, but he's talking about how this one guy was driving down the highway one day, and this highway patrol officer came up behind him, turned on the lights, but then the guy just kept driving faster and faster, and so the highway patrol officer followed him, and they just kept driving and driving and driving and driving until eventually the guy ran out of gas and had to pull off to the side of the road. The highway patrol officer comes up behind him, gets out of the car and says, "Son, what are you thinking?" And the guy in the car sitting there looks up at the officer and says, "Honestly, sir, my wife ran away with a highway patrol officer, and I thought he was coming to bring her back." I think it's pretty
forgot to do
funny.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Isn't that pretty good?
Yeah.
And then he would say, "Someone say amen."
Were they all like that
Amen.
kind of jokes?
Yeah, someone say amen. Yeah.
That's good.
It's very nice. It's a good way to start the day.
I think, just jokes are funny.
Yeah, especially those ones.
So, yeah, he would say.
I'm more of a situational type of a guy.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. You just see a situation. Well, this situation was pretty funny because he would just say, "Someone say amen." You would say like, "I got into my car this morning and man, was it cold." Someone say amen. And people were just like,
Wait, so is there like 10 people or like 50 people?
50 people.
Okay.
Yeah. It was quite the operation they had going. No.
So all in all, worth it?
Oh, definitely worth it.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we might go back because they're going to be there for the next 5 years. So we might just go back. Me and JD talked a lot about that.
Sheesh.
I feel like on missions, there's like one either opportunity or one type of situation that you find yourself in and then get through somehow. And it's like, only God could help me do that. Was there anything super crazy like that? I mean, it's
Nothing
like a lot
too
of
crazy. I just the whole time didn't know anything that I was doing.
construction wise.
Scott and JD knew everything, and I was
Right.
just kind of there. But, hopefully I was at least a little bit helpful.
Yeah.
So
Just showed up and
that's
did it.
good. Yeah, I worked hard. I tried. Learned a lot of new things. I now know how to do shingles and metal roofing. And
Yeah.
You'll be ready to build a house.
yeah.
You'll have a nice soffit.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of lights.
Yeah. I'm thinking of starting my own construction business, calling it Schaefer Shingles.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah.
a little roofing business. That's what we'll focus on. Yeah, metal roofing, shingles. So thinking about that. Yeah. The one part that was lame on the one house is that, and this again is no shade on anyone. However, there was maybe a mentality of like do things as cheap as possible. And so on the one roof, it's like black shingles are the regular ones, but like the corner, the part that the tree fell on, that's what we're replacing. And they gave us gray shingles, and we were like, "Hey, do they have any black shingles? Because we don't want to put gray shingles right next to the black shingles. So that won't look too good." And they were like, "Just use those. Like that's what we got." And I don't know if they had bought those or if they had those left over. But we used those, and then later we went to 2 days later we went to like the hardware store where we were getting the stuff, and we were like, "Do you guys have any black shingles?" Just to be curious. And, oh yeah, we got plenty of those.
Was
And
it called the Home Depot?
No.
Lowe's?
No. The town had a Walmart, and it had like a
Sheesh.
Taco Bell and a KFC and
Fancy.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
So it was like bigger than what we got here, but no Home Depot, no Lowe's. It was like your local mom and pop hardware store. We could
Nice.
get stuff. So yeah, that was maybe the discouraging part where, and we're just four guys. Like, and none of us had ever done roofing before. Like, seriously, like Scott and JD kind of.
Are you serious?
I wasn't serious.
No, you just said like seriously. Like none of us have done roofing before seriously. So I was like, are you serious?
I am serious. Yeah, but then we had never seriously pursued doing roofing.
No.
We had never done that. And they didn't like. They just kind of gave us these jobs, these little missions, and they didn't like send anyone with us. They didn't really check our work. They were just like go.
Yeah, that was my other question. Are you like your own micro team going out doing your thing?
Very independent. And that's good because the guy at the end was like, "Hey, we really appreciate your work. Like you guys were really awesome. We didn't need to hold your hand or anything."
Because what did you take?
Initiative.
Wow.
That is the word for missions recently. Initiative. Take initiative. But we could have been a bunch of idiots and done everything really wrong, and people might just end up with that kind of stuff on their house, and it's just like, so there's two edges. There's more. It's probably more efficient to just send people out and give them jobs.
Yeah.
But if people, and again, we didn't know what we were doing. We kind of figured it out, and we did a good job, I think.
Oh, I'm
But-
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were the best.
Yeah, we
Good.
tried our best with what we had.
Hey,
so,
that's
yeah.
all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then coming back, you met up with some people at the airport or on the plane.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. So we were in Dallas, which I have never been to the Dallas airport before. Have you ever been
Really?
to Dallas airport?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Dallas?
No,
airport?
I don't go
Unfortunately.
that way.
Yeah, it's massive. It's crazy how big it is. They have like the SkyTram thing, and you have to ride it to get to your terminal. And it was just crazy how big it was. It's not the biggest airport. I looked it up. That's Atlanta, but it's pretty stinking massive.
Oh wow. That's all coming because we were in Atlanta for a second, right?
I don't remember being in Atlanta
On the
recently.
way to your place.
I don't think that was. Maybe that was somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go on.
But then as we were waiting in Dallas, the plane was taking forever to get off. So there was this group from Calvary Chapel, Boise, who had just done from a mission from Cuba? Cuba? Was
Cuba, yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say there. Cuba. And they were just kind of talking. And JD, bless his heart, he's such a gentleman. So we were sitting in our seats, and this family of 5 comes on with like 4 little girls, or like mom, dad, 4 little girls. It's a family of 6. And they come on, and JD's like, do you want me to like give you my seat so they can all sit together? And they were super.
Like in the terminal or on the plane?
No, on the plane. This is when we're just waiting on the plane.
Oh.
Yeah, so we give up our seats, and then JD moves, but then JD moves and he goes sits next to the people going from Calvary, Chapel, Boise. And so it's kind of cool how he gave up his seat, and so they were able to.
You
kinda,
stayed put.
No, after a little bit, I was like, "Would it be helpful if I moved my seat too?" And they were like, "Yes, yes, yes." They were very.
You're supposed to look at him and say, "Your poor planning is not an inconvenience to me. I'm sorry you didn't book seats together. Not my problem. No, I'm not moving."
Well, no one asked me. I was just like, excited. I didn't exactly know how many seats they needed or what was going on. So I was just kind of sitting there watching. As I was kind of scrolling Instagram too. And I looked up and I was like, would it help if I moved too? And the lady was like, you would do that?
You're like, for $20, of course. Gosh.
And your mid-flight snack.
Yeah.
And your
Give me that Delta cookie.
I want the extra Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got to watch Gladiator on the plane because we were taking so long.
Wow. That's nice.
It's pretty good. A little long.
Yeah.
But that shows how long we were waiting there because I was almost done the movie by the time we took off.
That's so hard when you get on the plane and then they make you wait.
Yeah.
It's just
we
like,
were there for like 2 hours waiting.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
And it's the end of your trip. You're like so close to being home.
Yeah. So that's wild. But yeah, so we met. So they were coming from Cuba. They were working with an interesting mission group called East West Ministries that I'd be interested in working with in the future because all they did in Cuba was go on house visits to evangelize to people. So like the church before they came like would go up to people and be like, hey, there's this group coming from America. Can they schedule a time to come and meet you and just talk to you? And people are like, of course, because over there it's like, oh, Americans are going to come and talk. Like I want to talk to Americans. So we're kind of like interesting to the people all over the world, just how weird we are or something. And so they would schedule these meetings and the people would just go over with a translator and get to know them and evangelize to them. That's what they did literally all week long. It's like, well, that's kind of a cool idea. So I'd be interested in working with them because, yeah, that would definitely, that'd be a cool experience.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be a little sensitive when you're going to those places, though, with like customs saying like, hey, I'm here for tourism. I'm not here to become a missionary.
Yeah,
they don't like that. Yeah,
Cuba's a communist country.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily like Christianity.
yeah. So you have to be a little secretive. But yeah, I would want to do that at some point. And I think East West goes all over the world, so it wouldn't just have to be Cuba, but go anywhere. So, but yeah, yep. It was a good trip overall. Really got to bond with JD at that last little bit because it was just me and him.
Wow.
We watched a movie. We watched Baby Drive. Have you ever seen Baby Drive? Oh, wait. I already asked you that.
Never
You
even
haven't
heard
seen
of it.
You've never even heard of it?
No.
Not
Oh,
until
wow.
right now.
All I picture is like Baby Boss when you say that title.
No.
Megan, stop. Did you mean to do that?
Baby Boss?
Yes.
You mean Boss Baby?
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Baby boss, everyone.
Yeah, it's about like this getaway driver. It's a very different movie. It's about a getaway driver who like for heists and crime, and it's a little violent.
Is it newer? Or?
It's pretty new. Yeah, I'd say like 2018, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not exactly a family friendly movie at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
you and JD, watch that. So that was fun.
You watched it on the plane or?
No, just like last night they were together.
Okay.
Yeah. We have been sleeping in the same bed all week, but then when Scott and Mason left, he took their room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. Just really got close to the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yep. Guess see him tonight at Young Adults.
It's been a,
It's gonna be an
it's been a day.
exciting night.
Hey, but
though.
hey,
It's been
bestie.
24 hours.
Yeah, missed you, bestie. So yeah. But yeah.
Well, cool. Well, we're glad you're back and you get to recover for a little bit before we head off to Mexico. So good deal.
Yes, I am just a missionary. I just go all over the
You're
place.
such a missionary.
North Carolina. Who would I joking around at church? It's like pretty soon I'm gonna reach
Lori.
the whole world.
It was sorry,
Yeah.
Lori. She thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Shit, one of these.
Pretty soon we'll reach the whole world. North Carolina down, Mexico down. Only
That's
a
right.
few more places to go.
Good, good.
Yep.
So cute.
Reach the
Yeah.
whole world pretty soon.
Well, cool.
Yep.
Would you change anything about this trip, or it was just like it was what it was, and that was good?
I mean, it'd be cool if you were there. That'd make it more fun.
Are you talking to Hagen?
No,
For the people who aren't
Oh,
watching.
sorry. Yeah. No,
No.
you. But no, I think it was good for for what it was good.
And the weather was like warm and
It was
different.
very nice. Yeah, it was like cold the week before we got there, and with the week we had it warmed up, and then it's like snowing right now.
Oh,
So
nice.
Do you think that would have been something that this type of thing that would be good to take like a group of teenagers to? Or
Sure, I mean, yeah, it would just be.
do you think what we do in
interesting
Mexico is a better fit?
What we do in Mexico is probably a better fit because of the facility, probably just being better for us.
Yeah, a lot more.
And I like the
people.
variety we have in Mexico of like we get to do VBS, but then we also get to do construction work, and then we get to do like evangelizing just the one day. So it's a good like little mix of everything. There we were just doing work all week, and it's good. Like we're helping people, but like the evangelizing and the VBSs, I feel like give people variety, and that's good. So yeah, and yeah, I think Mexico is good for the high school group. But
Yeah. Cool. Have you acclimated back?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy to be back.
Your clock's fine.
Sure.
You're not waking up at 3
Oh,
a.m.
I woke up nice this morning. I was ready for the day.
Good.
That's true. Yeah.
And I just got up.
Good. Yeah, I was telling someone. I forget, but and I'll have to look. If I didn't write it down in my book, I meant to, my little black prayer book, but I either thought it, prayed it, or wrote it down last year or a little over a year ago. How like I wanted to be able to just like do more mission stuff, and I was telling him how like this year that's happening because while you guys are in North Carolina, we're sending Murray off to Israel, and then we're getting ready for Mexico, and Robinson just came back from Kenya, and it's like in July we're going to Georgia, and it's just like a lot, just like all of a sudden just seems like blah, like a lot, and I'm like, huh, cool.
Yep, it's kind of cool.
But one of my heart's desires, and I'll say this here so it's on the record for us to look back on one day. Like specifically in Mexico, like I really want to find like a church that we can just like partner with and just like build a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like this isn't one that 20 people go to, but like this is one that we can just like adopt and just like maybe even do 2 trips a year, and like we can just really make a difference and build these lasting relationships.
Yeah.
So that's my next kind of level into missions. I like the shotgun approach is cool, but I really want to hone in and try to find that. So
Yeah, where we are at geographically kind of makes that difficult.
being in Idaho,
Yeah, because like Mexico isn't that close. And it's like, what if we go?
Canada's way closer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll find some small church that we can partner with in Mexico or Canada.
Either one.
Yeah.
I'd be good with either one.
Find some poverty in Canada or some people who need help. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty godless up there.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
liberal.
that is true.
If you go, well, they might become America pretty soon. So
We'll see.
yeah, 51st state.
Did you see Zelensky and Trump's interaction?
I did. I watched. That was the only news I consumed all week.
Yeah.
But that was good.
It was worth
Like,
seeing, huh?
You don't have the cards. You don't have. And so he's like, "What cards? We're not playing cards."
I said, "Oh, you're playing."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it now.
It was good.
And there's all these like these memes of like me playing like Monopoly with my family. You don't have the cards. You need me.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
Sheesh.
And then Trump was just like, "JD Vance, get him." And JD Vance was just like, and then Zelensky came out, and so it's just like a whole.
Yeah.
It was very like a. It's very interesting, just kind of have these people having very human interactions. Just very like
It'd just be like
awkward,
you and someone.
down to earth, like
Right, people.
conversations where it's like, oh, these people are just like us,
Right.
like just like anyone else.
Yeah.
like they're not.
I mean,
special,
sure,
they're
you're
not
coming and
different.
asking for $1 billion, but you're just like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just like, yeah. You're just, yeah. Well, in your and the way you talk to people, you're not special. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
Zelensky needs to get a peace treaty. Yep. I get it. Putin killed a bunch of people and took all your land, but you need to be nice to the guy. No.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
It is very, very tricky. Yes. It's hard. Cool.
Well, we're glad you're back. Thanks for the update.
Now we'll get into today's topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, no.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. Cool. Okay. It's good to be back.
Good.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem.
Okay. See you guys.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.